Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and today we are going to create a game like this in Unreal Engine from starting to end. And this is going to be a 3D platformer game where you have to go through various different obstacles to reach your final destination. This is going to be a really fun game, and you'll learn a lot through this video about making games in Unreal Engine, because this game contains all the fundamentals of game development which are most commonly used in most of the game, like coin collect system, creating obstacles, moving platforms, creating different UIs to interact with the game, countdown timer, level unlock system, save game system, level designing, and a lot more. And after you're done making this game, you'll have enough knowledge to start making your own game. And before we start making this game, let me tell you can download this whole project from my Patreon, where you can also access all the project files I've ever made for these tutorial videos, so that you can get the blueprint code, UI elements, and all the other assets I'm using in this game. The link is in the description. Alright, so I'm gonna use Unreal Engine 5.5 to build this game. You can use any Unreal Engine 5 version you have installed in your computer, as most of the features are the same. But if you can, I'll recommend to use the same version as mine. Now I have break down this whole 2-hour long video into multiple parts, which are going to be uploaded into this playlist, so you guys can follow along to the whole game by watching videos in different parts. And this is the part 1 of this game tutorial series. Now we are going to choose the third person template before we create this project, because we might use some of the characters features we get with this template. Now select the folder where you want to create this project. Now we are going to use Blueprint to create logics in our game. The target platform will be desktop, and set quality preset to maximum. Let's give the project name My Game and then create the project. Now here I have no idea the people watching this video, and yes, this video is beginner friendly, but if you are a complete beginner who just opened up the Unreal Engine for the first time and doesn't even know how to move in a viewport and isn't used to this interface at all, then I would say go watch a complete tutorial video first and know some basics. I'm not telling you to go deep dive, but just know some basics like how to place the object in the world, what is this content browser for, why we use blueprints, and just get used to this interface. That's all. The rest is on me. If you know that basics, then you can continue watching this tutorial without facing any problem. Alright, so when you click on this play button, here you can see we have this default character that we can play around with, and we can also move around the world with this character. But we are going to import a new character for our game. And to import a new character, you can either design it yourself using softwares like Blender or Maya, or you can get a character from Marketplace or websites like SketechFab. So for the tutorial purpose, I'm going to show you how you can download a character from the SketechFab and make it playable to use it in your game. Now in any of your browser, search for the SketchFab, and here open up this website. Here you can find a bunch of 3D models you can use in your game, but here we just need a character. Search for the character, make sure to click this downloadable option so it would only show the downloadable assets. Keep scrolling until you find a character that you want to import in your game. I like this character, and it also seems to suit our game, so let's download this character from here. Download this in a big format. So here we have this character file. It's in the zip format. So right click and extract this. Now we have this texture and source folder. So let's go into the source folder, and here we have one more zip file. So extract this too. So here we have extracted all the source file, and this is our character fbx file that we need, and rest of them are base color and normal texture. Now we can drag this fbx file into the Unreal Engine to import our character. Now in most of the cases you don't have to play around with these import settings, so let's just click import, and as you can see the character file has been imported. But the texture files are not imported properly, and that's why our character is looking a little weird. Also our character size is a lot bigger. If you place this in the world, you can see its actual size. It's a lot bigger than we want, and to fix this, we can change its size from the software like Blender, or we can change its import settings. So let's delete this imported files and let's re-import it. And this time we are going to make some change in the import settings. So here we are going to change the offset uniform scale. Set it to 0.1 and then hit the import button. And now if we drag our character to the world, you can see our character is in proper scale right now. But now we need to fix the textures. But before that, in your content browser, let's create a new folder. Call this My Character, and this is where we are going to keep our character's file. So move the character and its material in that folder. Now to fix this material, import the base and the normal texture of our character. Now open up the material and delete all the stuff. Now drag all your textures into your character's material and the first one goes to the base color and this one is for the normal. So just plug them into their parameter. Now save this. And now if you look at your character, you can see the texture is now fixed and our character is looking good. But still we cannot use this model as a game character because this is just a static mesh. Means it has no bones or skeletons and we need skeleton mesh in order to animate the character. And if we want to make this character playable, then we have to rig it. Means just adding bones to this character. Now we can do this in a manual way using softwares like Blender, but there is an easy and a quick way to do it. You can go to a website called Mixamo. Open up this website and here first you need to sign up. So after you complete the signing up process, as you can see here are a bunch of animations you can use for your character and we are also going to use some of them, but first we need to rig our character. So what are we going to do is, first we are going to upload our character into this website. So just go where your character file is and drag it into this website. This will take some time. So after you uploaded your character, click next and here you need to align these markers according to the body parts they have mentioned. So the blue one goes to the chin, green goes to the wrist, yellow goes to the elbows, orange goes to knees and the red goes to groin. After you have aligned all the markers properly, click on next. Now this will take some seconds and your character is ready to animate. Now click on next and now you can apply any of the animation you see on the left side to your character. But first we just want to download a simple skeletal mesh file for a character. So for that we just need a simple T-pose. So here let's search for the T-pose. There it is. The Unity engine uses T-pose as the default pose for our character, whereas Unreal Engine uses A-pose. So let's try to reduce some of the arm space from this pose. It looks close to the A-pose. So let's download this. Now here select the FBX binary format and here on the skin, make sure you select with skin. Otherwise it will only download the animation, not the character. So here is this file, rename this to my character. And inside the engine, delete this character we imported before. Don't delete the textures or material. Now let's import this new my character FBX file. Now in the import settings, we'll keep most of the things same, but here we already have the material for the character which we imported before. So down here, we are going to uncheck this import material option. And also make sure the scale is what we set before. Now click on import and as you can see all the files are imported. Now here we don't need this animation, so delete this. Here as you can see this is a skeletal mesh that we needed. And if you open this up, here on the skeleton tree, we have all the bones that we want for our character to animate. Now it's time to download the animations for our character. The first animation we are going to download is idle. Here you can see there are a lot of idle animations. Let's pick up any one of them. This one looks nice. It's a bit fast, so reduce some of its speed. Alright, so now let's download this. Make sure you check without skin here because we have already imported the character in our game and format to FBX. The same way we are going to download the running animation for our character. So let's see this one and check this in place option to play this animation in place. So this running animation looks good for our character. So let's download this too. Again make sure it's without skin and format to FBX. So after we download the animations for our character, let's go back to the engine and here let's create a folder called this animation and this is where we are going to keep all of our animation stuff. So for now let's just drag the animations we downloaded before and here in the import settings, we just need to set the skeleton mesh for these animations which is my character skeleton. Select this and click on import. So the idle and running animations has been imported in our project and it's working fine with our character. Now the similar way you can also download the jump animation for your character. Now you can also use the animations that came up with the third-person template. So if you go into the mannequins animation folder, here you will find this jump animation and this jump loop animation. So these are the two kinds of animation we need for a character to jump. So to use these animation for your character, right click on the animation and click on this retarget animation option. And here in target skeletal mesh, select your character's skeletal mesh. For some reason our character is not at the same level as it should be. I think it's a bug, but anyway. And here you can search for the animation you want to retarget. Let's search for that jump animation. Double click on this, and as you can see, the same animation is being played for your own character. Now here you can click the export animation, and here select your folder, click OK. Now if you go to that folder in your content browser, and there you have the jump animation that you just retarget. So the similar way, you can retarget the animation for the jump loop. So now you know how to use animations from Mixamo, or how you can retarget it from your third-person template. So you can use any jump animation you want, but I'm gonna use my own jump animation. So let's delete these. So here they are. Let me drag this into the engine. The import procedure is the same. Just select your character's skeleton and click on import. So this is the jump start animation, and this is jump loop animation. So we got all of our characters' animation imported. Alright, but when we click on this play button, we have this default character to play with, but instead we wanna play with our own character which we just imported. So to do that, go to Windows tab, and here click on the world settings. So you'll get this world settings panel. So here you'll see game mode. A game mode is a blueprint class that defines game set of rules. But basically its primary work is to define what's the default pawn class, means the character that will spawn at the starting, the HUD class, player controller class, game state and all that stuff. And we'll create our own game mode afterwards. But for now let me show you how it works. So here in the default pawn class, it's a third-person character that spawns as a default pawn class. And if you click on this browse button, this will show where our character blueprint class is. Now I really hope you know what a blueprint class is. If you don't know, whenever you see a blueprint class, then it's something that contains logic. Here it's a character blueprint class. That means it contains logic about a character, its movement, jumping and all that stuff. So if you open this up, here you can see there are a bunch of nodes connected with each other, and they combine to form logics. And if you go to the viewport, there you can see this is the third-person character mesh, and the left side if you see, there are a bunch of components. Like this is a capsule component which works as a collision for the character and avoid objects to overlap with a mesh. Then there is this arrow component which shows the direction our character is facing. Then this is our mesh, of course. Here you can also change the mesh like this one. This is also a character provided in third-person template. And then there is this camera boom which is attached with a follow camera through which we actually see the character. But now we want to create our own character blueprint, and for that what we are going to do is go to content browser, and here let's duplicate this character blueprint. Right click and click on duplicate and name this my character BP. So now we can make our own logic in this blueprint. Open this up, go to viewport and then select the mesh, and we are going to change the mesh to my character. Our character is a little bit downward, so let's just drag it up like this, and now it looks fine. Now here in the anim class, it's still using the previous mesh animation blueprint. We're gonna create its own animation blueprint, so for now let's just remove it. So just compile, and let's go back to the world settings, and here in the default pawn class, select my character BP which we just created. So now this will spawn my character by default when we play the game. So let's click on play. And here you can see it has spawned our character as a default pawn. Although it doesn't have any animation blueprint, that's why it's not playing any animation, but we can still move around with this character. Now you can also make changes in character's movement, like character speed, jump height and all that stuff. So for that let's go to our my character blueprint, and here if you scroll down in the components, you'll find this character movement, and this component is responsible for all the character movement we have for this character. Now in the detail panel, here you'll find this max walk speed which defines your character's speed. So you can play around this value to change your character's speed. Also there's this jump z velocity which is your jump height. So you can change this too, and let's see how it affects our character movement. So here you can see our character's speed is a lot higher than before, and our jump is also too high. I mean it's a lot high. So you can play around these values to make your own character movement style, but I'm just going to go with the default values. So that is it for this part of our game tutorial series, and in the next part we're gonna see how we can set up animation blueprints so we can switch between different animations like running, jumping and all, and we'll finish with setting up our character. So if you like this video, you can support me on Patreon, where you can access this game project file and all the assets I've used for this game. The link is in the description, and you can also join our Discord server where you can interact with other developers of this community. And if this video helped you out, and make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I wanna thank Patreon members of this month. Thank you so much for your support, it means a lot. Till then, see you, bye bye.